Hey YouTube, it's Adrian. Just before we get you to this video, do me a favor and head over to pageantlaunch.com. We are starting the world's first dedicated pageant review site, and I would love for you to join our launch team. All you need to do is put in your email address. It's completely free. We are looking to make a pageant industry that is safe, transparent, and fair. I know it's like that most of the time, but over the last year, it's become very evident that it's not like that all of the time. So head over to pageantlaunch.com, put in your email address, and let's get you to this.
Hi. Every time I go live on this, I sound like I'm surprised. Hey, everyone, it's Adrian from the Pageant Project. I have to stop saying that. Welcome to Pageants and PJs. I believe it's number 28. We're getting up there. And it has been a busy week for myself, but I'm going to circle around to our guests. We've got Megan Goldberger, who is, it's Miss Pageant Girl Cardiff, isn't it?
Pardon?
Miss Pageant Girl Cardiff is your official...
That's right. I'm just sharing our stream, but yeah, that's right. Yeah. Miss Pageant Girl Cardiff is my title. Maggie G is my nickname forever and ever. My week has not been as eventful as I would like. I spend about 6 hours a day at my laptop typing up my final year project, which is an enterprise project because I didn't want to write a dissertation. So I'm basically doing this massive business plan and it's taken up my entire life. But 8 days time, it'll all be finished. So plowing on now. Other than that, I've taken many naps and eaten many snacks.
What's the go-to snack at the moment?
Oh my gosh, it was on my Amazon wish list, funny enough, but my friend didn't know. And she sent me a box of 71 biscuit bars. So like we've got...
Why 71?
I know, it's such a weird number. There are...
It doesn't even go into anything. That's not like 7 lots of 10 or 10 lots of 7. It's exactly. 71.
There's 5 different ones. So there's more... Like there's more cats than any other thing in there. So there's Kit Kats, Breakaways, Toffee Crisps, Yorkies, and blue ribbon things. So good. But you just pop to the kitchen, and the box is there. So you just like slip your hand in and then slip back upstairs. This morning I actually found one in my pocket of my dressing gown that I'd forgotten about.
Just chocolate in my...
It was in perfect condition. I just fully forgot about it.
Did you see the link that I put up about this UK shop that the shop's Tim Tams, ships Tim Tams, and it's cheaper than Amazon?
It's like £3, isn't it, for a thing of Tim Tams? I nearly ordered like £15 worth of Tim Tams, and then I was like, no, Megan, you don't need those Tim Tams. So I might just order like one at a time.
You've got a dissertation to get through. But if anyone at home has actually... I can't remember what the name of the shop was, but I think they bring Australian stuff over in bulk, and that's why it's cheaper. But if anyone's actually ordered it, and some people did mention they have, I just want you to tell me whether the Tim Tams have come like in a reasonable time frame and whether they're good, because my worry is if they ship them over in bulk, by the time you get them, they might be a bit stale. So that's the only thing. But I think they cost £4. I think the shipping is another £4, but that's compared to Amazon where they're going for £10 and another £5 shipping. So it's a lot cheaper and you can have it more reasonably. Does anyone here still have their Tim Tams?
No, I ate them.
Of course not. We were like Galaxy. We were like Tim Tam slamming in the night.
I think I did like 3 Tim Tam slams in a row.
Yeah, we were sitting on the bed, weren't we?
Yeah.
They were so
I miss Galaxy. I miss Pageant Land.
I did it wrong at first, didn't I?
Yeah, she bit the whole top and the whole bottom and tried to suck it through the whole thing. I was like, no, it's just the corners. Nip, straw.
And then I was just like, I'll just have to have another one then.
I know.
I tried into it. Is that not the same?
Have you done it, Tim Tam Slam?
Tim Tam who?
You'll have to...
Tim Tam who?
My name's Slam, Tim Tam Slam. You can tell Imogen what a Tim Tam Slam is.
You get a cup of tea. You can do chocolate fingers as well. That's how I first started. But Tim Tam Slam is you get a cup of tea, make it as your normal tea.
Yeah.
And then you nibble off one corner. So it's one corner and then the opposite corner. And then you angle the Tim Tam and suck the tea through the Tim Tam and then slam it in your mouth before it melts.
I'm not sure about that, but I'll give it a go.
Solid 10 out of 10. If you're a bit scared, I would try with the chocolate finger first because it's more like a straw. And then go on to Tim Tam. It's like, beginner level, advanced.
Okay, yeah, I'll give that a try with the chocolate finger first.
When I first started, like when you started in your career of Tim Tam slamming, when I first started Tim Tam slamming. I learned about it years ago. It's like novice, intermediate, then expert slammer.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, next pageant land, when we're all together, we are having a Tim Tam slam competition. How many Tim Tams can you slam in a minute? Highest number wins.
That's disgusting. Controversial opinion. I hate Tim Tam slamming because the one time I tried it was with coffee, and because I have black coffee, it's exceedingly hot. So I bit and went, okay, everyone else has tried this. I've got to try it. Otherwise, I'm an Australian. I sipped through it, and the coffee is so hot that the middle of the whole Tim Tam melts and falls like plop right into the coffee. I'm like, I'm never trying that again. And also, Tim Tams really melt. I don't know if you guys found this, but you hold them and they melt in your hand. So the last thing I want to be doing is holding a melting biscuit, but also I've ruined the Tim Tam and I've ruined my coffee because now it's got wafer and chocolate in it, just floating like a chocolate scum on the top. So I'm not a huge fan of Tim Tam Slam, but if it works for you, Maggie, then I'm happy.
I quite enjoy it, but I don't get Tim Tams that often, so it's a once in a while type of thing.
I bought over. I think next time I come over to the UK, all I should do is just pack. I shouldn't bring any clothes. I should just bring Tim Tams.
I'm
like
still waiting on the
kilos.
Box. I'm still waiting on the box that you've
given you. That's why I found the shop. I found the shop because I was looking at what's the best way of sending Tim Tams to you guys. The problem is, and I looked it up. If I sent, and I found a company here that does the same thing, they will en masse ship. Their specialization is in shopping Australian treats to the UK. And I hit them up, emailed them, and they said, yep, sure, we've been doing a lot of it. This is how much it will cost. The issue is that by the time I send it to one of you and then you send it on to someone else, it would actually cost more than just buying it from this shop. So I thought the shop was a good win. That's why I sent it to you guys.
I liked it. I like it.
Maggie, you look very disappointed. You're liking this idea of a giant Tim Tams, Maggie.
I'm just like,
so disappointed.
It's flavors that we're going to miss out on. Like, surely they can't stock every single Tim Tam flavor.
They can't, but they do have some ones that I don't have in my supermarket because I think they might have got them a few months ago, and Tim Tams, like, they have limited ranges. So there are some that you guys could get from that shop that I don't actually have in my supermarket. So it cuts both ways. So don't be too disappointed.
Stale.
Month-old ones. Months, you just said.
Yes, Danielle. Yeah. We don't say that, but yeah, there are reasons behind everything.
I'm not sure how I feel about this.
Well, I mean, if you order one, I really legitimately want someone to order a pack and then tell me how they are because they're semi-decent. I mean, they cost like 1/3 the price, like £4.
I'll buy myself a pack for a graduation present.
You might as well buy a few more, otherwise the postage is a bit
on
silly.
top of everything else that I've already promised myself after I finish my degree.
I sense a big list. Let's go around to Imogen, who is titleless at the moment. But she's obviously... People say she was, or you guys say I was Miss Teen GB 2018, but you are Miss Teen GB 2018. You're just not the current Teen GB. Imogen, why don't you catch us up? It's been a while since... Oh, no, we had you on when... Well, you were the mystery caller when Charlotte was on.
Oh, yeah, that was fun. That was fun.
That
was so strange because you guys could hear me, but you could see each other, so it's sort of easier. But there was 5 of us, wasn't there, on a phone call, and everyone speaking at once. I was like, hello, So
welcome to my life to run this. Everyone speaks at the same time. Oh, I should say, by the way, speaking of people speaking all at the same time, Lauren's not with us obviously today. She's taking care of some personal business. So we miss you, Lauren. Hope you're well. And I'm not going to replace you if that's a question that comes up. But Imogen, sorry, go ahead.
What are we saying about the week? I've literally just been keeping myself so busy.
Bless you, if that's a question that comes up.
Oh.
That's me. Sorry, never mind.
Oh, sorry. I've just been keeping myself so busy. I couldn't even really tell you how, but just doing little things every day. And like today I had to go to the supermarket, which I hate doing, but it was fine. Just doing things like that. I went to go see my grandparents last week. Obviously, I just stayed on the driveway. I didn't even go near the front door. But that was nice to see them because my nan doesn't really like FaceTime. I FaceTime her sometimes. Right. She's like, I don't like FaceTime. Oh, my mum just said painting badly. Yeah, so tried to decorate the spare room. And you might have seen on my Instagram. So, in fact, you did see on my Instagram story. I thought
I commented.
Why? I'll just paint it white. She's like, what could actually go that wrong? Apparently, a lot can go quite wrong. And I left so much. I got told to just leave it, Imogen, and I'll just do it. So I've left it now. Not very busy, but it's done now. It's finished. So I did 3. No, well, I did. Let's go with 2.5 walls. I just gave up on the 3rd wall. So I just did 2.5 of one coat. And that took me a week. So
my favorite part was when you forgot that a wall has 4 rooms. A room has 4 walls. I can't speak.
I know. I was like, I've done 1, 2, 3.
And there's only one more.
Left. That's good, isn't it? And I was like, oh, babe, there's only ever 4 walls in a room.
I just heard that. I was like, yeah, that's a bit of a blonde comment. I mean, I said to Danielle on message after last week, because Olivia had a hell of a time last week because we were all roasting her. I think she's the blondest person we ever have on the podcast. She's not blonde, but she just always is embarrassing herself. But so the painting is done. Not necessarily just by yourself, but it's done. But it's not just about this week, because it's been a while since we had you on. You've been doing the cuppers and catch-ups?
Cuppers and catch-ups, yeah. Which I haven't really had a couple for a while, if I'm honest. But it's actually going so much better than I thought it would. I put some videos up of me on my Instagram story. One of my days where I felt quite anxious and I had to go to the supermarket to just get a few bits. So I didn't want to go to a big supermarket and queue up, and I ended up going to a smaller one and the queue was inside rather than outside, and loads of things happened on this day that just spooked me a little bit and made me feel a little bit worse. So I just recorded it. And I put it on my story, and a friend of mine called Maisie, I haven't seen her in years. I know her from like 3 years ago, but she does like joke vlogs for like her friends on her Instagram story. And she said, I really don't want to go back to normal life. And she said about how she feels so safe being inside, not having the pressure of going anywhere, like not needing to be somewhere by a certain time or needing to do this or needing to do that. Like you literally don't have to do anything if you don't want to, if you're in a situation like me where I'm not working, I'm furloughed. So everything she said just hit the nail on the head. So I thought I have to share this as well. So I did. And I had so many messages that I just decided to turn it into a thing. And I don't discuss the messages on my story anymore. But I do it every Monday, Wednesday and Friday. And when I put them up, I get a lot of messages or the little question box things. People put how they're feeling and stuff, and have a chat. It's just to catch up.
Yeah, it's interesting when you put that up, because I think everyone's handling it a little bit differently. First off, I think everyone's kind of losing their minds a little bit. But there are some people who, I mean, for example, I work from home normally anyway, and the last week in particular, I've been spending so much time in front of the computer. Unless I actually went outside, I wouldn't actually know there's a quarantine on. But I know some people are dying to get out, and there's people who haven't been able to see partners or parents or things like that, and that's absolutely very difficult to deal with. But Imogen, what else have you been up to? So you've done you've been doing the cuppers and catch-ups. I can't talk anymore. You've been painting. Oh, the gibberish. That's what I wanted to say. The gibberish. Are you any better at gibberish now than you were before?
No, not really. I was really getting somewhere that one day that we were sending
sure?
each other. I was getting somewhere, I think. But now I've done them all so many times that I know them now. So it's not a game anymore. I know them all.
You've done them so many times, you know them all.
I know them. So yeah, they need to give me some new ones or something. But I love those Instagram quiz things, like the filters, and I think they're so funny. I do them sometimes. And I don't post them. I just do them for fun.
I have done that a few times, if I'm honest. Just done it to myself because I don't want to embarrass myself by not knowing all the answers. Are there any new Instagram ones up at the moment? Like, which Disney character are you, or why 2020 is?
A stagey one for about different musicals and things. It's like they do like Les Mis or Phantom of the Opera, and you have to like choose one. But I haven't seen any. Oh, I like that one where they put the 3 pictures and you have to guess a celebrity's name.
Oh yeah, I like that one too.
It's really hard.
They put up.
I'll send it to you later, and you can. It's really hard.
Just tag me in it, but I promise you now, I'll be rubbish at that. I'm rubbish at any question to do with celebrities because I don't follow any celebrities.
There's one which proper tickles me. The first time I did it, it's like a nationality thing. Yeah, proper tickles me. Like it made me giggle. It's the nationality. I didn't think those are posh. Did you say posh? Anyway.
I reserve that for the Brits. I reserve that for the English, the posh.
Oh. No, I'm Welsh. So
it wasn't a dead giveaway.
There's one where it's like a nationality and it's like goes through all the percentages and then at the end it turns you into an animal. Yeah. Oh my gosh,
yeah.
I was howling.
A pigeon.
I've been a pigeon, I've been a hippo, like I've been all these different animals. But the first time I did it, I pure didn't expect it. I was like, oh, I'm probably like 60% German or something or whatever, and it turned me into a pigeon. I was screaming. I was done. It was so funny, and then everyone guessed like different animals. So I'll send you that one after this.
Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm not going anywhere, but if you watch my stories, you know I'm the worst at things dying. Like my phone and my laptop is on
1%.
Oh, no.
CEO of 1%.
It's gonna go back.
It's always 1%. I don't know how it actually makes me anxious because every time Imogen puts up an Instagram story, she says her phone's on 1%. I'm like, how?
She's the CEO. The CEO of 1%.
That used to be me. I've got better.
It's so bad. I thought when I was doing it earlier, I thought I'm not going to say, oh, I'm on 1% again because people will be like, shut up.
Even your mum has said not again.
Oh, not again. Yeah, sorry, ma'am.
I think there's a bit of a conspiracy with charge numbers. Is that because 100%, if you've ever charged your phone to 100% and it lasts for like maybe 30 seconds before it goes to 99%, but I'm convinced that 1% lasts a lot longer than 100%. I'm sure someone has gone, we can't trust people on their 1%. They'll start complaining the phone died. So actually 1% is really like 10%. They just don't tell you that.
But
it's obvious.
Slows everything down. Like the longer it's on 1%, my phone goes so slow and I'm like, oh, it's going to die.
It's a bit like petrol in a car. When you've got no miles, you can actually still drive for a bit.
I wouldn't push that one too far, though.
Yeah, don't.
I've not tried that.
The petrol station, we're almost there. Really bad.
I broke down on my way to get petrol. I broke down because I ran out of petrol on my way to get petrol on a roundabout.
Oh, I hate that.
On On a roundabout?
Yeah, like...
Literally on the roundabout?
No, like
that on the roundabout.
Just off, like I took my exit and I was on a slip road, and in the UK it's actually illegal to be on a slip road, like it's illegal to stop on a slip road. And then these two men come and pushed my car onto the bank, and then the AA was like, you were meant to call the police. I was like, no. I drive a pink Fiat 500. Did you honestly think I knew that?
I wouldn't have guessed that you were supposed to call the police. I would have called the breakdown people. When you said breakdown on the roundabout, I thought literally you meant that, because when I was in the UK second last time, I actually saw that. I saw a car. It looked like someone had just gone too quickly. The car had jumped up onto the roundabout. And if you imagine, like, if a car is resting upon like an embankment and the wheels don't touch, it can't go anywhere. And I think they just got out and left the car there. I mean, the car looked like it was worth like 20 pounds. They just left the car there. So when you said on the roundabout, I thought you meant you left it like in the middle of a roundabout.
No.
Okay, well, Miss Latimer, how have things been for you?
Yeah, not bad. I've watched the whole series of Tiger King on Netflix and convinced that Carol Baskin did actually kill her husband. What else have I been doing? I've been doing a lot of walking, which has been really nice. So this weekend I got out and did a nice big 10-mile walk with my best friend from outside of Pageants. We're preparing for a few big challenges, which I've yet to announce, which I should be doing any day now. So we are trying to get mentally and physically ready for that challenge. So, yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing, is walking around East London. Went out to Kent yesterday for a big walk. And it's been nice because I've taken some time off of social media, and I've had so many people message me like, are you okay? You haven't been on like social media very much. It's just like I'm just trying to like take a bit of a step away from it and just kind of connect with the planet a little bit more and connect with my friends physically there. Obviously, we were social distancing in the sense that we kept 2 meters apart, and it was just really nice to see her. But yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. Bit of Netflix, talking to everyone on FaceTime, house party. That's kind of been consuming our days, really. I've been talking to Maggie G a lot on our FaceTimes. We just literally sit and do nothing and just chat about normal day life.
It's just company, though, isn't it? Like, we'll FaceTime each other and just sit and just get on with whatever we're doing, but with each other.
Yeah. So we'll cook dinner and we'll pretend we'll have like date nights and stuff.
So you just leave. I can't do that, because whenever I have someone on FaceTime or something like that, I always want to, like, I feel rude if I'm not actually talking to them. So you guys just turn FaceTime on and leave it on in the background, do you?
I mean, like, not all. Most of the time we're talking or we're cooking and we eat together. Like, was it last night? Yeah, last night we had dinner together.
Mm-hmm. We ordered a curry. We had a curry night.
Yeah, we had a curry night. We were like, one of us just had to say Indian, and then it was both in our heads. We were like starving. No,
what sort of curry?
Like, well, my go-to, close. My go-to is a chicken makhani. Not your average korma, a little bit more special. But
He's selling it. He's selling it.
But
I've never heard of this one before.
Yeah,
I know a chicken korma.
Makhani. It's like a korma, but just much better. It's got different spices and a lot more flavour. Except when I went to Park Hall at Galaxy, and on the Saturday we had an Indian, because it was our juniors night, our Team Cardiff juniors night, so she got to pick the food. They put cheese on it up north.
Oh.
With cheese.
Yeah, it came with full on.
Here we go again.
Grated cheddar cheese on top of my curry. And I was like, what is this?
But I'm
Is that a northern thing?
Probably.
The North put cheese on everything. I say it's northern. It's northern to me. Officially, it's Midlands. But there was cheese on it. But without the cheese, it's delightful.
I took one of those quizzes on Facebook. Chloe Lake put it up, and it tells you whereabouts from the UK you're from, apparently. And I took it, and it said that I was northern. Yeah. And I was like, given everything that I've been told about people from the north, and I don't judge. This is not me making a judgment. This is what I've been told. I'm like, I don't think I'm northern. And when you say put cheese on curry, I feel like I want to vomit. So if that's a northern thing, I'm not down with that. That doesn't
I
sound
know.
like
I got northern from that too.
Us three are all from the south, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're all southern.
Like in a line, like it's Meg and then me and then Danny.
Yeah, literally, if you get on a train at Cardiff, you can pick up Imogen and end up at Danielle.
Yeah.
You make it like you guys are a constellation in the night sky. It's like
Yes.
Like Orion's belt.
Three
Imogen and
queens.
there.
It'd be the three queens. That is our star constellation, just across the way. Down
That's
the
better than the
M4.
Big Dipper.
Down the end.
How far away from each other are you guys? Like a couple of hours, 3 hours, and a half?
Yeah, I'm about
Like
an hour from Imogen, and then
3.5
we're about
hours
2
to me.
hours from 2.5 to Danny.
Where are you, Meg?
No, you're 3.5 hours for me, babes. I'd done that drive enough to know.
Yeah, but from Imogen we'd be 2.5 because I'm an hour from Imi, so
Yeah.
take away that. Me, dead central Cardiff. Boom.
Yeah, so literally, just under an hour from me because I live so close to the bridge.
Yeah.
I live on that side of Bristol. Well, Danny knows because she dropped me. She dropped me at my work and then drove to yours after Gallic.
And this is the longest Danielle has not been up here since September
Yeah,
I
I want to say September.
because of COVID. She's normally at my house every other weekend. Can't get rid of it.
I know, you can't shake me off.
I'm sure you actually want to get rid of her, Maggie.
You love it. Our little trips to home.
gonna say.
We go to home sense. We have a pamper night. All this.
Buy you some
What's home
notebooks.
sense?
She always
What's
buys me a
home sense?
notebook.
You know
from
what?
home sense.
No?
So you know, like what TK Maxx is or TJ Maxx?
DJ Mac.
Yeah,
What is it in
is it TK
Australia?
or TJ? I always get confused. Which one is it for you guys?
It's definitely
TK.
TK over here.
Okay.
In the UK, it's 2K.
It's TJ Maxx. It's like that, but only home stuff. Am I right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Home and
Don't ask me.
food.
Food?
And
Yeah,
beauty.
there's a food section and beauty.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's like my dream furniture store. My whole house will be furnished by IKEA and HomeSense.
I love Home Sense.
See, I don't have a home sense like directly near me.
Daniel
So,
didn't know what
I didn't
HomeSense
know.
was. We
No.
went to the gym, didn't we, on a Sunday
Yeah.
for boxercise one
Yeah.
morning. She literally got me to go to the gym on a Sunday morning. No
forced
one's
her
ever
really
managed
early.
to do that. Only because there was a Starbucks on the other side of it. So it was like,
Had to
all
buy
right.
me for a Starbucks.
We walk into HomeSense and she went, their pricing looks like TK Maxx. And I looked at her and I was like, you do know what this shop is, yeah? And she was like, no, what is it? I was like, it's just the home section of TK Maxx. Just
My
the home.
mind,
And she was like,
I love it.
because I love TK Maxx. Those that know me know that I love TK Maxx. So when I found this, I was like, oh my God, TK Maxx has another store. So
and then I introduced you to the rewards card, which you filled up within literally 3 days.
Introduce you to the rewards card.
Yeah, because you get a key every time you shop there. She literally filled, you got 5 keys, you get a reward. And she literally did it in 3 days.
Yep. So what I did was when I came back to London, I did a map of where the closest home senses were to me. And I went to 3 home senses in one day and did like a little tour of London home senses. I think the closest one was like 30 minutes from me. So 3 in one day.
Do you know, I actually got upset about it this week because normally HomeSense is next to my gym. So my routine is go gym, go Starbucks, go HomeSense because they're all in a line. And I haven't done that in so long. I was like, I miss HomeSense. I miss Home
Everything is
Bargains.
in a
I miss
line.
B&M bargains. Like,
B&M.
Home Bargains.
Open.
B&M's open.
Yeah, but do I really want to go risk it? Like, do you know
Risk
what I
it
mean?
all for
Risk
B&M.
it. It's not the same when you've got to go there and you've got a queue to get in.
Yeah.
What? I don't know
Winning.
any store names. What? Not H&M. I know H&M. What's
B&M.
B&M?
Bargains.
I know BMW. It's not a cheap version of BMW, is it?
Hey, that's right.
BMW.
That's
I
where
know.
Amy works.
I can't describe it. You go in there needing nothing and come out with everything you needed, everything you didn't know you needed.
It's like they do all at discounted prices, but they do lots of like food stuff. So lots of tins and jars and things, and then so much cleaning stuff, like every cleaning product ever.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, Imogen, I think the last time I spoke to you on the phone, you were just about to go into B&M.
I was in B&M, yeah. I got a lampshade. I got some like cleaning bits that we needed, like washing powder, things like that. Get it all from there. It's just cheaper. Get it from the supermarket.
It sounds like the reject shop or the $2 shop. Is it something like that? It's like a discount variety store?
Similar.
No, because everything's still branded. So like you can get the washing powder. I went to the supermarket today, and this is really sad, but I looked at the washing powder I bought in B&M last week just to see how much it was. I was walking down the aisle anyway, so I didn't just go out of my way, but it was like £3 or I think maybe £4 in the supermarket. And then when I bought it in B&M, it was like £1.75. So I'm like, obviously I'm going to go buy it from there. It's the exact same thing. So obviously I'm going to buy it from there rather than Asda.
Which become the shopping channel.
Yeah.
So that is one thing. I think that was another quiz as well. It's like, which UK supermarket do you go to? And like, which ones are the cheap ones? Like on a scale of cheap and cheerful to expensive and snobby, like how do you rate? What is it, like Marks and Spencer and all the other different ones? Like what's cheap, and then go up the scales.
You've got like Lidl and Aldi. They're like they're like the knockoff brands. Yeah. Like instead of Quavers, they're cheese curls, that kind of thing.
Okay.
Then you've got, I would say, Asda.
Yeah.
Asda in Iceland.
Yeah.
One up from them. Then you've got Tesco. Well, I don't know. See, I love Tesco, so I would put Tesco like up. But it's not the most expensive. So price-wise, it's Tesco and Sainsbury's, then Waitrose and Marks and Spencer's.
I'd say Morrison's goes in.
Morrison's a little bit more expensive than Tesco. But, I think so. But based on quality and a good shop, Tesco is God tier supermarket.
Yeah.
So Tesco is up the top. I thought Tesco was sort of middle of the road.
Tesco's the big shop. But I used to go on adventures. Like Tesco is open 24 hours. So we'd be like, midnight, be like, fancy going Tesco. Just pop down Tesco, have a shop, it's really quiet, no one else is there, good time with your friends messing around, and then get some snacks, come home.
You mess around in Tesco?
Well, you go into Tesco at midnight, it's a bit mischievous.
Yeah, they
grab a couple of let's get crazy in the Tesco.
24 hour.
I just love it.
What's co-op?
Sainsbury's person.
Co-op is
when I'm here. No, don't ask me.
Imogen, you're up.
Oh, go on.
Right. So basically, I normally go to Sainsbury's. Okay. So at the moment, where I live, Sainsbury's down the road is not down the road. The one that I go to is the only supermarket that's not one way. So for a time, it was the only... Danny, you know all about this story. I was on the phone to you. At the time, it was the only supermarket I was going to. So I needed just a few bits that we'd ran out of for the week. And we had nothing for dinner, but it was a Thursday. So I didn't want to go and do a whole shop because I do it on the Sunday or the Monday for the week. So my mum said, go to Co-op. It's slightly smaller supermarket. I was like, okay. She's like, there's never a queue. Got there, no queue. Loved it. Went straight in. Started going all the way around, chatting to Danny on the phone, throwing things in the trolley. And then I got to the end and I realised it was a one-way system and I missed out pretty much all of the shopping that I had to get because I didn't know the way of the supermarket. I didn't know where everything was.
I've never been to this one before. I don't know how everything is.
It is stressful though. I completely get where you're coming from.
That's the guy on the till. I got there and I was like, I have to go around again. I said, can I go around again? And there was a girl working with him, and she was like, "You can't go round again." And I was like, and he said, "Yeah, you can." And he lifted up the they had like rope everywhere to like stop people going down certain aisles. And he was like, "Yeah, just go through there." And I was like, "Thanks." And I had to go around the whole shop again because I got the whole one-way system so wrong that I missed so much out.
Okay, hang on. We don't have this in Australia. What on earth is a one-way supermarket? And it sounds like a stupid idea.
It's new because of Corona.
They put arrows on the floor.
Oh, okay.
So, say I went to Asda today and they've got it in there, but people aren't being very strict with it. In Co-op, because it was so small and so quiet, I had to do it. Like, there was no way I could just leave my trolley and quickly run down there to grab some eggs. Like, I had to do it. And I also want to do it because I don't see the point in them, enforcing it if people aren't actually going to go along with the guidelines. So I make such a conscious effort to go, I literally go up and down every aisle just to make sure that I don't forget anything because I don't want to go back on myself because you can't really. But yeah, in that Co-op, it was just so small. I forgot everything. And this was the first time I did the one-way thing. I didn't know the supermarket. And
you was on the phone to me as well. So you were like, "I'm really sorry." And I was like, "Babe, it's fine. Just do your shopping." And I overheard you going to the guy, "Can I go round again, please?"
It's proper stressful though when you go to a supermarket and you don't know where everything is. Like, every supermarket is laid out differently. You can kind of like roughly know where things are, but it's like when I go to Tesco in Cardiff and Tesco back home, everything's laid out completely different.
Yeah.
So I have to recalibrate my brain of how to get around the shop.
Yeah.
Do you guys in the UK, do you have like someone, because when it was properly bad here in Australia, I'm happy to say in Australia, it's getting a lot better. We've started relaxing some of the restrictions and now we'll see if there's a second wave. But when it was properly bad, they would have someone out the front just with one of those manual ticker counters. And given how big the shop was and, the 2 meter or 1.5 meter distancing, they would work out a maximum number in the shop. We've never implemented a one-way thing. I thought that's kind of more common sense. You just stay away from other people. But do you not have just someone who's at the front saying, okay, we can't let any more people in?
Yeah, we have that as well. And then we have people that are spraying the baskets down. I got handed a basket yesterday that was soaked in hand gel, which is great. They're being so vigilant. Yeah.
But no one actually pays attention to them. It might just be the Welsh, but nobody pays attention once you're inside.
No. It's the same in East London. I go to a big Tesco Extra, and you think anyone follows the arrows on the floor? No, it's just me that follows it around. And if I go past something, I literally will leave my trolley there and will walk backwards and grab it. Not backwards like walking backwards, but I will literally just zip round and leave my trolley. Yeah, I'm not going to moonwalk just to pick up some peas. You know what I mean? I'm going to
I think you would if you wanted to. But I can see this happening.
I've got my gloves on and everything.
I mean, it is Tesco Extra. So
I was being
and you're extra. So I can imagine moonwalking to pick up the peas. Chloe has said, nice to see the tech working this week. Thanks, Chloe. It couldn't be any worse than last week. That's a new profile pic you've got, Chloe. Is that a Charlotte Clemmy one? That looks like a Charlotte Clemmy special.
It
is.
The FaceTime one.
What's this? I had my...
PPJ.
I don't know what does that mean?
Personal protection equipment. I hope. Otherwise, I've just made an absolute fool of myself.
Okay. There you go. Hope you're doing well, Chloe. Okay, so we've turned into the shopping channel. Everyone has told us what their favorite shops are. So guys, you obviously seen the ticker below. That's for the pageant review site that I am slowly putting together. As I was telling these guys before we went live, I've been in front of the computer 24/7. So if you go to pageantlaunch.com, you can sign up to the early access, and that's so that I can get your guys' opinions on how this whole review thing should work. I already got quite a jarring email from someone because I emailed my email list for the first time in 2 years. I was like, sorry, I've never used this. I got an email back from a young woman in Canada who's had an absolutely horrible time with a pageant. She was sent to somewhere in South America, and I don't actually know who she is, and she wanted me to keep it private, so obviously I will do that. But she told me an absolutely horrible story about what happened to her in South America. So I do think the site is going to work. It's going to be needed. I just got to jump on the design. So if you are interested, I've told people I think it's safe. I want an industry that's safe, transparent, and fair. And Danielle, why is it always when I'm talking and I'm not looking at your screen, you randomly do something? What did you do?
I'm passionate about it.
It was a
What did
sneeze.
you do?
I can't help a sneeze.
She sneezed.
A sneeze. You blame it on me? Tell my nose hairs.
I'm super excited for this review site because I think it's A, super important, and B, I'm surprised how long it's taken for someone to come up with this kind of idea. Like, surely, like, this should have happened a long time ago, but I'm glad it's happening now. So new girls coming in and, you know, current competitors can get a good oversight and a good overview of what is good and what is bad.
Yeah.
I think no one wanted to put it together, sorry, Danielle, just because they didn't want the flack. Whereas I kind of see it as like, if I'm going to be doing this for any reason, that is the reason. Because I can't, I was, back when I was just interviewing Australian queens, so probably back about a year ago, maybe 18 months ago, as I said, when Chloe interviewed me, like I was struggling for a reason to keep going because no one was watching, because interest in pageantry in Australia is quite low. And then I started interviewing you guys in the UK, had a great time, but it needed to be like, okay, what's the purpose behind all this? And eventually I came up with the idea of having the review site. Other people were suggesting having a pageant committee, and there are actually pageant committees out there, but the problem is no one's going to listen to you. Like, are you going to go to Miss Universe and say, we're a pageant committee, you should sign up with us and be, you know, verified by us and be like, I'm going to tell you the answer is going to be no. And that also costs a lot. And then it's a question of, well, who do we put in charge? So I just thought the idea of something like a TripAdvisor or an Uber, because those are what I call self-police. So, I mean, if you imagine basically the premise of a TripAdvisor was an Uber is that the user reviews you, or Airbnb. And if you get a bad review, and yes, it's sometimes dodgy reviews, I understand, but it's really word of mouth on steroids. And I just thought the pageant industry could use that. But I'm getting the feeling no one else wanted to do it. Maybe it's because of the tech thing, which I understand.
It might be the tech thing, but also I think maybe people were probably afraid to do it. Yeah. You're like a neutral player in the game, whereas all of us here, we're either A, biased, or scared of saying something wrong and therefore jeopardizing our chance in our competitions or our titles. So you're like a completely neutral player, which is why I think it's going to work so well, because you can't hate the game.
Yeah. Amber Louise has said, is this a new one? Amber, are you talking about the tech? Because I am giving this a good shakedown. There's a lot of things I can do with this tech that I wasn't able to do with Skype. Imogen has already said she looks quite clear and she likes... Imogen, you're not a techie person, are you? Okay, well,
I can't even figure out how to make an IGTV. No, I'm so bad.
So if I can get Imogen on board with this, then that's a good thing. Imogen, I can't. What do you mean you can't work out IGTV? I mean, you literally record a video and you put it up on IGTV.
Yeah, I don't know how. I mean, like to edit the video. So I think maybe last week or the week before, I made a video for something else that I can't share. Well,
every time you come on, you are in. Every time you come on, even when you phone with Charlotte, you are in danger of disclosing something that you can't talk about. I don't know what it is about you every time.
What did I say? Oh yeah. Yeah. So, something that I'll talk about at a later date. I'm sure I can talk about it, but I won't. So I had to do a video for that. So I did 3 videos and then I had to edit them together, and I thought, this is a challenge. So it took me an afternoon, but it was fine. I figured it out and I did it. So now I did that, and it was quite cheesy. Like, it was quite cheesy, but watching it back, I'm like, maybe I can try it again. And it's the whole thing of like, I learned that if I have one bit of a video where I'm talking and I'm talking and I'm talking, but I want to cut the middle section of what I say out. I have to duplicate the video and then cut it down and cut that one down.
No.
No?
You shouldn't need to do that.
Just cut it out, didn't you, babe?
You just select a point to an end point and then delete what's in the middle and get rid of that.
I was using Splice. Splice?
Yeah, that's what I use.
Oh, maybe we could have a 1-to-1.
Yeah, we can do.
I was going to say,
over it.
Danielle should be the expert on editing videos on her phone because that's the way she likes to roll.
Yeah.
I'm trying to convince her to move to a computer, and she can teach you how to use Splice.
She has the highest spec MacBook Pro, and she won't edit on her computer. It makes no sense.
No, you know what it is? Because it's got no space. Even today, I tried deleting stuff out of my trash, and it wouldn't let me get rid of it out of my trash for some reason because the disk is full. I don't get that. That's a Mac for you.
That's a Mac, no space.
I'm really, really confused. So I would edit on my laptop. I just need to learn how to. But I'm really, I like Splice, but I just have no space left on my iPhone to film any more videos. So that's why my YouTube channel has been neglected recently because I have no space for anything.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chloe, when Chloe was on last week, she tried this feature. Have you guys used the green screens? I don't know if it'll work for any of you, but if you want to take a chance. So if you go to, do you see at the bottom, you see the cam/mic, the cog wheel?
Yes.
And if you hit that, and then there's an option for green screen.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't work very well for me. See, that's actually Chloe with the green screen on. For me, it just, no, there I go. That looks fantastic.
Actually, I can't see any cogs.
I'm not sure what it looks like.
Mine doesn't work.
How's this? Like the giant.
Oh, wow.
I might actually get an actual green. I do have a green screen. I've ever used it.
Oh.
No, we can hear you.
No.
It works better for Chloe than it worked for me.
Mine doesn't work. I'm frozen. No.
Mine is literally like 6 months old. Who's frozen?
No, me. I had bricks coming out of my wall, but not behind me.
That was too much. That wasn't working for me. That was way too much technical behaviour there.
The person who the person who organised CrownCon and Rowan has said love the green screen. Well, actually, I don't know if you do any of you guys know what Twitch is?
I've heard of it. It's for gaming, but I don't personally use it.
So what's happened? So last time I tried, this allows me to broadcast live to 2 platforms simultaneously. It's another reason I'm using this. And last week we broadcast to Facebook, obviously, and YouTube. This week we're broadcasting to Facebook and Twitch because I started up a Twitch channel because Twitch literally is people doing live stuff all the time. So that's the first comment, Rowan, that we've got from Twitch. But welcome from Twitch. So I'm making you guys Twitch famous, not just TikTok famous. Well, hang on. Imogen, Imogen is
frozen, right? Or no?
Oh yeah, Amy, you are. Oh, look what we've done now.
Now for about 5 minutes. I look great.
I was going to say. Let me see if I remove you and re-add you. Give me a sec. All right, so it's just the 3 of us. Let's see if we can get Imogen back.
Oh no, Chloe, you jinxed us. Everything
Imogen,
was going well.
The camera off and on again if you can. At the bottom, there's a button for the stop cam.
This is because we were talking about being good at tech.
I know. Chloe was like, oh, I'm glad to see the tech going well, and now it's ruined.
Is she back? No. Try stopping your camera, Imogen, and then turning it back on.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, it won't let me. I don't know why. Oh, hang on. I've got the thing on a MacBook where it spins around multiple. Okay.
Oh, the beach ball.
Oh, she's dropped that. So she can join back in. This gets up too close and personal, this particular view. It's like, oh my God, here I am.
Right there.
Chloe has said, Chloe, how have all the interview trainings been going? I think you've been doing a lot. I put my chat with Chloe background as my personal print screen. You need an actual screen, like a green one. I think this allows you to have a blue one though. So Chloe, yours must just work really well. Shameless plug. Nothing wrong with a plug. Yes, it's all your fault.
Imogen's writing in Instagram now.
Oh no, she's laughing on Instagram.
Imogen, just hit the link again, and you can join back in. What has she said?
She said, "Oh dear, help me."
Just.
It's so funny.
I think it's my laptop, she said.
Imogen, just join on the same link again. It's fine. Just use the same link you used to join the first time.
Has her phone died, though? She was on 1%.
No, she was on a laptop, and then...
And you should actually be able to join from your phone as well. So you can do that too.
My laptop was on 100% when we started this. It's now on 16. Wow.
Okay. Let's see if we can get Imogen back before you die. I don't know what you guys do that you burn through your batteries so quickly.
It's not a problem. My phone is charged. But I was like, why is it gone so quickly?
I just want to see if we can get Imi back before we wrap up. Hang on. Imogen, is Imi's phone ever charged?
No, she is the CEO of 1%.
I think if Imogen ever starts up a brand or a company, it should literally just be called 1%. Because that's everything I associate with her. Every time she does an Instagram, everything, it's always, oh, hang on, my phone's dying. It's on 1%. I'm like, oh my God, that just makes me anxious.
Oh, I'm back. She's coming back. Oh. Laughing face. Oh, here she is.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, Hans. I had a little malfunction.
Oh, she's frozen again.
Oh, no, Imi.
I think it's an internet thing. I don't think it's a... No, she's gone. Imi?
I'm here.
Oh, we can hear you.
Yeah,
we just can't see you.
Can you hear me?
You there, love?
Yeah.
Hello, hon. Hello.
Can you hear her?
I can
she's
hear
DJing.
you.
Yeah, she's frozen. The camera's frozen, but I think it might be a connection issue. I don't think it's a tech issue this time.
Eye movements. Okay.
I can hear you and I can see you.
You've just frozen.
You're just frozen.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. Now turn it back on.
I can't hear Imi.
Oh, you can't hear Imogen, Danielle.
No.
Okay. Well, let's see if we can get her first.
Oh,
Lord.
She's not here now.
She was doing so well.
I am here.
She's there. Look, you can see her talking.
Where?
I am here.
Okay. Look behind you. Where?
Give me a sec. Okay. Give me a sec. I'm going to see if this will fix it. I'm going to remove all of you and then add you back to the call. Don't hang up. Just give me a sec. No, just give me. All right. Danielle, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Maggie, can you hear me?
Yes.
Danielle, can you hear Maggie?
Yes.
And lucky last, Imogen, who's not here. No, Imogen's disappeared from the call now. Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh, Lord.
I think, to be fair, this is an internet thing. This is not the software this time, but who knows? It's fun to blame the software. Imogen, if you're watching, do join back because we want to wrap this up. So I'm going to ask the girls what they've got coming up. It doesn't have to be in the next week. Just give us an idea as to what's keeping you. What are you looking forward to? Because everyone at home needs something to look forward to, and you guys do too. So why don't I start with the one guest that we haven't killed off yet, Maggie G. We've gotten rid of Imogen. She's out of the house. Kicked out of the house. Maggie, what have you got keeping yourself going apart from uni? I don't think anyone's going to find that particularly motivating.
Degree. This week, I don't know if it's the same in Australia, but this week in the UK, it's Mental Health Awareness Week. So I have collaborated with my sponsor, Complete Confidence Makeover, a woman named Kelly Tamplin. She's an empowerment coach, just like soon to be myself. And on Wednesday, we are doing an Instagram live over on my Miss Pageant Girl Cardiff page, all about mental health. I'm really open about my mental health, so I've asked people to submit questions over there. Literally anything. If you've heard me talk about it before, I've talked about how I'm currently in therapy. And I just think people need to know, like, break the stigma. So that's our plan. So I'm doing that this week, as well as getting involved in as many other mental health campaigns as I can. And the pageant pub quiz is on Saturday.
Did you have one on Wednesday?
No, we've had to stop Wednesday because of my degree. But 8 days until that's over, and then I'll be back full force.
Okay, so Pageant Pub Quiz is back on Saturday. When did you say you were going live?
Wednesday
at
pageant? 6.
Wednesday at 6. Okay. If you put up if you tag me in an Instagram story or Facebook post, I'll share that. You guys all go live when I'm like at 3 a.m. for me. Yeah, I think Imogen's frozen again.
No.
No.
Got slight movement.
I honestly don't know what's going on.
She's a ventriloquist now.
You can hear me. Hello.
Frank answered that at the same time.
I am so sorry this is happening.
Imogen, can you hear us?
I can hear you. I tried to join on my phone and I don't know why it wouldn't let me. So I'm sorry about
she's
that.
saying it with her mind.
I know, it's impressive.
This is just an internet lag issue. So, Imi, what we're seeing is that I think your audio is really out of sync with your video, but that's I think that's just an internet connection thing. Imi, we're just wrapping up anyway. So, did you want to tell the people what you've got coming up, not just necessarily next week, but just in general?
It's my birthday on Thursday.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Happy birthday.
Yeah, I'll be 21 on Thursday. Thanks.
Happy birthday to
you. And Imogen, you've just reminded me. You need to add some more bits to your Amazon wish list for your birthday.
Oh yeah, let us gift you.
Because I had a little look today, and what's on there is not significant enough for a 21st birthday gift. So you need to update your wish list.
Okay, I'll have a look. I'm not doing anything, obviously, which is fine. So, yeah, just that's it. I would say I've got some like big plans, but I haven't. So, yes, okay. I honestly have planned at the moment. I just think because everybody's in this weird time of not really knowing what's going on. I don't even know when I'm going to be back at work. I have absolutely no idea. So I'm just sort of taking it day by day and week by week, and that's literally it, because that's all I can really do at the moment. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's all anyone can do at the moment. I'm just getting an echo. Imi, have you got your headphones in?
No, I haven't got any for the laptop.
Oh, that's okay. I don't think I'm hearing it. Okay, hang on. I am. All right, I've just had to mute Imogen for a sec. Imogen, I'll come back to you. I'm just muting it because I was getting an echo. I'll get Danielle to tell us what she's up to, and then we'll wrap things up. Imogen, if you do have headphones and you can hear me, try whacking them. And if you don't have them, I'll unmute you when we after we've heard from Danielle. But Danielle, you go.
Yeah, sure. So this week I've got a lot of books to read, so I'll be reading my books. Oh, now I've got feedback on myself now. Oh, is that where? Okay.
I had to mute Imogen again.
So I need to film a video, my announcement of a challenge that I'm doing. Hopefully a lot of people can get on board with this. So I need to film that, edit that, and upload that at some point. And yeah, just try and get through this period, really. I'll probably go on a few more runs and walks as well. But yeah, that's kind of it. I'm not going to be back at work for another few more months, I reckon. But I have a check-in, a weekly check-in with my supervisor. She just checks in to see how I am and gives me any updates within the company. But yeah, that's kind of it, really. Just chatting with you lot.
FaceTime me.
Sorry, Meg, I'm just going to try unmuting Imogen and see if this is cleared up at all. So, hello, can I hear myself? Because I really don't want to hear myself.
I'm back.
Seems to be better now. Seems to be better.
Oh.
I'm back, maybe. Am I?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, we can see you. Maggie, so what were you going to say?
And FaceTiming me. That's what you'll be doing. House parties. Woohoo.
More guac and chips.
Chips and guac. Trivia questions. All good fun.
I think I've started seeing the same questions pop up on chips and guac. So I think even I've played that too many times.
Yeah.
That's a good social media.
I want to start looking into gown for Galaxy International. I know I've still got a long time, but
we started this today, didn't we, Miss?
Yeah, we started thinking today along the lines of, would I be designing something, or would I buy couture, or starting to
I would like to shameless plug myself and just say that if you need a gown, I'm your gal.
She's your gal.
I am. Genuine.
Actually, before I forget, Maggie, can you update me? Probably everyone watching at home already knows, but can you update me with what's happening with Holly's systems? Which ones have been postponed? Which ones are still going ahead at the moment? Because I haven't been able to keep up.
I would love to. Basically, from Holly's announcement that she did the other day, Galaxy 2021 is aimed for November next year. So instead of being in March, it'll be in November. But from the sounds of it, we still have the hotel booked for March. So she's come up with something else, but hasn't told us what it is yet. Mm-hmm. It's a national title, and it's something in place of Galaxy that weekend for us to still all get together. Pageant Girls obviously been postponed to August 8th. Whether or not that actually happens is still in the balance. We're aiming for it, but it could be taken away from us again. So it's all sort of all over the place. But Galaxy 2021 UK November time. Okay. Which is good for the Queens, I think, because they can eat lots of food at Christmas and not worry about internationals being so soon after.
This is true. Anyone got any updates on either international, intercontinental, Teen GB, any of those?
No. I think Teen GB is pretty safe at the moment.
End of October, isn't it?
Well, we don't know, do we? I mean, at this stage, Galaxy was supposed to be happening in October, and that got cancelled. So I'm just trying to keep abreast of all the, what's been postponed, what's still trying to go ahead at the moment, but obviously everything at the moment, it's a bit up in the air. And just a general update, how is, in the UK, are they relaxing lockdown at all, or are they not? I'm getting really confused. So in Australia, what's happening? We've now, I think, allowed gathering, and you've got to keep up to date with it every day, but I think it's now up to 10 gatherings, out a maximum group gathering of 10, where it used to be 2. Now you're allowed to go to other people's homes. I think that's a maximum of 5. And they've started, I heard the news today, for public transport, they've literally put dots. I think they called it spot the dot, and literally they're 1.5 meters apart, so that a normal bus, which would probably sit 70 people, can only take 12. So we are relaxing it, but having said that, we still can't go to other states. So I'm in New South Wales. I can't go to Queensland. They literally won't let me in. And they're saying they probably won't relax that until September, which is insane. I'm not saying it's a bad choice, but just to think I can't go interstate for another 3 or 4 months. So certainly not going to be able to go overseas. But what's happening with lockdown in the UK? Is it being relaxed? Is it not? What's going on?
So it's different for it's different for Wales and it is for England and Scotland. So Scotland and Wales are technically still in lockdown. You are still in lockdown, but England, Boris Johnson has decided to relax it a fraction. So basically the message is, if you can work from home. If you can't but are able to go to work, it's very confusing. He says go to work if you can, basically. Which is I think is personally a bit ridiculous, but obviously Boris Johnson is in charge of the money for the entire nation, so he's thinking from an economical standpoint. He wants the company to be up running for business, but I think, as Lauren pointed out prior, you're not going to have any money coming in if you're killing off the entire workforce. So England is starting to relax up a little bit. We have unlimited time in public, like open spaces, so we can go to parks, beaches for unlimited time. We're allowed to meet with one person outside of our household, but we do have to maintain a 2-meter distance from that person, which I think is ridiculous, because one person, I mean, you could meet with one person, your friend, and then line up the next person to meet with, and no one's adhering to the actual 2-meter distance. As soon as you start relaxing a little bit, people are not going to stick to that, because they want to hug their loved ones, they want to go into their houses, they are starting to relax, and I think it's a little bit too soon. So I'm sure there will probably be another spike soon in England, I predict. But Scotland and Wales are still in lockdown. I can't cross borders. So even if I wanted to come and see you, so even if I wanted to cross, if you do, you have to quarantine.
The other day. Yeah, because we're still in lockdown, and they say you can go to beaches and parks and mountains. Obviously, Wales has beautiful beaches, parks, and mountains. The English are trying to cross the border to come and climb our mountains and sit on our beaches, and they're not allowed to do that. So the Welsh police are out in force finding people.
When you say the Welsh police, it sounds like the language police, making sure that everyone speaks Welsh rather than speaking English. The thing that scares me is a tube, though. That just sounds terrifying. If people are on the tube, how on earth? Because what I said in Australia, we've got like dots where you're allowed to stand, and the police have come out and very strongly and said, if you're not standing on that dot, we're kicking you off, and that bus is not going anywhere until we drag you off, kicking and screaming if we have to. So how is it possible to maintain social distancing on the tube? Are they trying anything?
It's impossible.
Nothing.
So I've seen some footage recently of people that are now starting to go to work in London. It means they have to get the tube. If they don't have a bike, if they can't cycle, if they can't drive to work, which the majority of people get the tube to work.
Exactly.
There are people shoulder to shoulder. They've got a reduced service as well. So there's not as many tubes as they usually are. So if there was more tubes, then it would be more spread out. So it means people were having to wait shoulder to shoulder, and I've still seen videos of people pushing and shoving to get into tube. But that's normal. I know I've been pushed and shoved into the tubes.
That's a tube.
Yeah, and it's still happening today. So even though London's done pretty well,
as a complete outsider, that sounds like the worst combination. To tell people to go back to work if they can, and you've got reduced tube.
Yep.
So that means more people need to get on. As you said, people are waiting longer. The dot system, which I think is a bit juvenile, but couldn't you just put dots on the tube carriages and say you have to stand here? And then if, as I said here in New South Wales, if you can't stand on those dots, you're not allowed to get on.
As much as British people love to queue, you are not a person when you go into the tube. I always maintain that as soon as someone goes into the tube, especially in a busy period, you are not a human anymore. You are an animal.
You're like a sardine.
Yeah, you really are. Because all sense of chivalry goes out of the window, all sense of anything goes out the window. I've seen heavily pregnant women stand there in front of people that would just bury their noses in their phones and not stand up and let them give them a seat. And I'm definitely a whistleblower when it comes to something like that. People are not humane in the tube in London. I know because I use it every single day for my entire working life here in London. But yeah, I wouldn't get on the tube if you paid me currently.
Have you been on the New York tube, Danielle?
The metro, no. I refuse to use the metro.
Because I was going to say, I couldn't get you to do a comparison.
The subway, yeah. No, I think the only other underground system, I've used Milan's and I've used Paris's. But yeah, I haven't used the subway in the States, no. Because I follow an account on Instagram called Subway Creatures, and I see the madness, the nastiness that happens on there, and I'm like, I'd rather just pay an angry yellow taxi, man.
That Subway Creatures sounds like an Instagram setup for people who eat at Subway.
It's hilarious. It's absolutely, if you check it out, it's hilarious. Subway Creatures on Instagram.
All right. Well, that sounds very confusing, and I don't agree with it. I think I can see where he's coming from, but as Lauren said last week, there's no point thinking about the economy if everyone's dropping and dying. That just, I don't know. I think it's a really tough time to be a politician, but as I said, I don't have that much sympathy for them because they wanted that job. They're there to make those decisions. If you can't make it, don't be a politician. Maybe I shouldn't say that unless I actually try being one, but that would never happen. Okay. Imogen, are you still there?
I'm here. It looks like I'm moving now as well.
I know. Yay. Finally, you're back and we're not getting a horrendous echo. Imogen, what were you drinking? It looks like red, sparkly. It looks like squash. A Barocca, frankly.
It's just squash.
Oh, squash. So we don't call it squash. We call it soda. I liked when you froze, it had beer written on the front of the glass and it froze with...
Is that a Camden beer glass?
What do you call squash?
Yeah.
You call squash soda?
Yeah, so if that was like a raspberry, if that was a raspberry soda, we'd say I'm having like a raspberry soda or like creaming soda over here, or Coke. We don't call it squash. Squash is literally squash, like solo. So squash for us, first off, we wouldn't say that, but if you did say squash, it'd be like a solo. It wouldn't be a generic soft drink. Definitely wouldn't be a red one. We wouldn't say squash. This is why I get so confused. The most confusing thing I've worked out now having like talked to someone in America as well, it's the food. The food, like you can have literally the lollies and the drinks, they're all called different things. Mm-hmm. And every time you guys talk about food, I have no idea what you're talking about. And for once, it's not the accent. It's just I don't know what you guys will say things like one way in the supermarket. I'm like, what do you mean? It's very confusing for me.
So what do you call like a concentrated fruit juice that you add water to?
Cordial.
Okay. We call it cordial as well.
Word for it.
Oh, is that
I feel like there's some cordials and then others are squash. Like if it comes in a glass bottle, then it's like a cordial.
If it's bougie.
If it comes in a plastic bottle, it's more squash.
I think Maggie's laptop might have died. No, you're still there.
Oh, I'm on 100%. I'm still... Oh, it's going to die.
Quickly, finish what you were saying before you died, then we'll wrap up.
I'll switch. Can I switch?
She's basically saying if it's in a bougie bottle, it's cordial. If it's a cheap, nasty one, then it's squash.
Hello.
It's the same thing.
Okay, so see, the thing is, like, if you went to the supermarket, you might be able to find a bottle of squash, but if anyone asked you what you were drinking, you'd never say squash, you'd say cordial. Yeah. Oh my God, Maggie, you're killing me. What are you?
Oh my gosh.
Maggie, are you there? We'll see if we can rework this around.
There she is.
There you go. The other thing is lollies. This is the thing when I had Emma over here. I know lollies. Okay.
So you've got iced lollies, and then you've got like confectionery lollies. So confectionery lollies are like hard-boiled sweets, like the sugar sweets.
Yeah, that's what we call lollies.
That's a lolly. Then you've got iced lollies, which are kept in the freezer, which are like, I don't know, what would you consider an ice lolly?
Like ice blocks. We call them ice blocks. Yeah. This is why I'm confused. You were saying ice lollies. I'm like, what's an ice lolly? It's like ice block. But like if you had a cornetto, that's an ice cream.
Yeah.
So this is where I get confused. But one of the biggest issues is with the word pants and the word thongs. Those two things. Like whether it's an Australia UK thing or Australia US. Like Rachel Everin did a TikTok about an Australian talking about asking for help, like finding thongs. And then pants for you guys means, very specific things. Whereas, but for pants for us is anything you wear, like trousers, pants, track pants. So that potentially can be very confusing and very embarrassing, I feel.
But thongs, whoever thought of thongs for flip-flops is seriously messed up. That's
silly. That is genuinely silly. They literally go flip-flop.
When you walk in
like if you come to Australia and you ask for flip-flops, we will know what you mean. This is where I also get confused. Like, why do we have so many words for the same thing?
Well, if I come to Australia and I ask for like an actual undergarment thong? Like, what if I'm in an underwear store and I ask for a thong? What do they call them?
Well, if you
G-string?
Yes, we would understand that. But the other thing is
like stringy, like it's not thicker.
Well, the thing is, with Australia, I always say, only half jokingly, that we're just like the 51st or the 52nd state of the US. So now that we've become more Americanized, I think more people are saying flip-flops. So I think if you said thong, particularly if you were in that sort of store, I think people would understand. But I mean, if you're in a flip-flop store and you ask for a pair of thongs, no one's going to look at you like an American would and go, I'm confused. So you need context here. But I can't say I'm an expert on the whole underwear divide issue thing. I wouldn't know. I'm just not going to say. Nat Pav has said you guys are. Well, there you go. We're not intending to. It's always when I'm trying to wrap up that we have a massive debate start up. Last week it was about food, I think. And then it was something to do with Olivia. I can't even remember. I just remember laughing at Olivia a lot last week.
There's always a debate.
What's Bridget's?
Bridget
Imogen,
Jones.
what's your mum talking about?
Stick to Bridget's, like Bridget Jones, like massive pants.
Big pants.
You guys, do you have the phrase granny panties?
Yeah, they're granny
Yeah,
pants.
I wouldn't say panties. That's the most horrible thing was being a Welsh girl working in Victoria's Secret and having to call pants panties to people that come in and just have them look at you like, what on earth are you saying? Because Victoria's Secret's an American brand.
Yeah.
So I had to say, if there was like an offer on pants, I had to say, like, come to the panty party. And it was the most horrible
Panty party.
I've ever had to endure in my life.
Oh, wow.
So what would be the Welsh equivalent of that? If you were speaking in normal Welsh, what would you say?
Pants, man. Like, just genuine, just pants.
Knickers.
Knickers.
No, I don't like that.
I think panties sound a bit perverted. Do you know what I mean? Panties.
Yeah. I don't like panties or knickers. They both make me really cringe.
Well, what do you call them then?
Just pants.
Pants always makes me feel like boys' pants, like boxer pants.
Put some pants on.
Well, that just makes me think of just normal pants. Is this where I get confused? Like pants here is just what you wear on your... Yeah.
Well, sometimes, if I'm honest, sometimes I say underwear.
It's fine, yeah.
If I'm completely honest.
If I'm, sometimes
well, you're being really honest.
It's like a little bit less, like a little bit less.
Hard-hitting stuff now.
It's a little bit less, oh, you said thong. Or like, oh, you said knickers. No, like I'm just, I just, just washing my underwear.
Every time.
When you would ever say it, I don't know, but.
Every time.
I need to learn how to do underwear.
And it hits 10 p.m. After 10 p.m., everything just goes out the window and we start talking about things like pants. It's like after the watershed. It's like 7 a.m. for you. When
let's not get onto fanny pack now, shall we?
Oh, no!
What's a fanny pack? A fanny pack is like a bum bag.
A bum bag.
Yeah.
But a bum in America is something very different.
Huh?
I thought about this the other day. Someone said on Twitter yesterday, what do Americans call bum chins? Because you've got cherry chins and bum chins.
Which doesn't make sense because cherries have a line through them.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make sense.
What do Americans call bum chins?
This whole conversation.
Adrian's like, are you speaking another language?
No,
this is where I get confused. It's like, literally, I understand every word, but I understand nothing at the same time. What's the issue? Backtrack. Like fanny packs, bum bags. Like bum is what you sit on, right? But also bum, we call people who are layabouts and useless. So where's the issue? I'm getting confused with fanny packs and bum bags.
We don't really say that.
We don't call
can't
them
really
fanny
discuss the word fanny on you, Adrian. I've got to be honest with you.
Yeah, fanny, I wouldn't say that. I don't. Who says fanny packs?
Wow.
And the Americans say fanny packs.
Really?
our friends.
Oh no, yeah, no, now I know what you're talking about. Okay, yeah, I saw a
But we
talk
call them
show.
bum bags.
Bum bags.
Which is ironic because they don't actually go on your bum; they go on your front.
Yeah, but nor do they go on the other thing that the Americans say.
I remember
This is
because
true.
I saw
They
a
should be
guest
waist
on a
bags.
talk show. I saw a guest on a talk show, and she was an American, and she was on a UK talk show, and she wanted to get everyone up and dancing. So she got up and said, "Everyone, shake your fannies." And apparently, everyone looked at her, and they were like, "If you can imagine what you guys are like," they're like, "They're just no." I'm not. But she meant bums, so I don't. I just think the Americans, everything they do, they have to do it differently to everyone else. So everyone drives on the right side, literally will drive on the left. People say aluminium, so we'll say aluminum. We will forget there's an I in there. We just say aluminum. Yeah, they say aluminum. They literally, and
Yeah,
we say maths. They say math.
Yeah, they miss
Why?
the
Who knows?
H out in herbs as well. They don't say herbs, they say
Herbs.
Herbs.
What is with
Which
it?
I don't. It just makes it sound very like you're trying to be very pretentious. It's like I'm putting some herbs in my KFC. I'm like herbs. There's an H there. It's not ERBS. It's herbs. You're not French. Herbs.
They're just
Like I'm going
different,
to
aren't they?
McDonald's. I'm having a chicken fillet, a filet o fish, and then they have the literally chicken fillet. I'm like, it's fillet,
Fillet.
but okay. I don't know. Imogen looks like she's just completely either had enough or has no idea what we're talking about. If you see confused Imogen, you should try from my perspective. I have no idea what's going on.
When it comes to like words and things, I don't know. I say all sorts because I don't know. There's just I don't get it. Like it's like the north and south divide. Like people up north call trousers pants as well. It's not just like an American or Australian thing. Like people up north call them pants, and I'm like, huh? You mean what? Or I remember saying to someone once, we were at a meetup at the dress studio, and it was when I had my title of Miss Teen Great Britain, and I was so tired. And George and I had driven like 5 hours to get to the dress studio in the morning, because I live so far down south from the dress studio. And I was really tired. I did my makeup in the car and everything, and I got there and I said to one of the girls, "Oh, God, I'm so hanging." And she was like, "What?" Because up north, to wherever she was from, I think Liverpool, that meant to her hungover.
Yeah, that's what it means to me. I'm in London, and hanging means hanging as in like you're hungover.
In Bristol, we say hanging as in like I'm really tired. I'm hanging, like I'm really tired. So like right now, I'm like getting hanging, like I'm tired. But she was like, "What?" And I was like, "Huh?" And we were sort of having this thing like, "What?" And she was like, "You're hungover." And I was like, "Oh no, I'm tired." Like what? And it's that feeling of like I'm not hungover. Like no. So yeah, I don't know. I find it really funny.
Miss Teen Great Britain turning up to the dress studio.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh,
That's what I get really confused about, is that even within the UK, you guys can't agree. So what chance do I have? I mean,
though.
okay, so
different dialects.
Like I said, Cockney's got its own different slang. Bristol's got its own slang. I'm sure Cardiff's got its own
whole other
language.
Or Cockney is literally, I don't understand any of it. I would rather take Scottish any time than Cockney. I can't understand Cockney.
They mean stairs when they're talking about fruit. It's very confusing.
So hang on, this is because I've told Imogen I'm going to start a drinking game every time she uses the word hun. I'm going to take a drink because that's her favorite word. So in terms of what's the equivalent, just for you guys. So Imogen says hun. Meg, what would you say?
Hun, I think.
You're a hun person as well.
So
yours would be like angel. You say
I mean,
angel a
that's
lot.
just a Maggie G thing. That's not a Welsh thing.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like not sarcastic all the time, but it's kind of like my jokey thing. Like if I was actually going to have a conversation with someone, I'd probably say, "Hi, babe, you all right?" I'd say, "Babe." I'd be like, "You all right, babe?" Or if I ring Danny, I go, "Hi, babe, you okay?" But like her, and I say when I'm like, "Oh, mind the step, hun." Right then, hun. Like,
on and I think it was a year ago today. It came up on my memories, and it was like, I love the word hen. Am I being sarcastic or am I being nice? You'll just never know. Hen.
Never know.
I was like, me.
Yeah.
Chloe, that's a lot of H's in one sentence. Ha 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 ha. Hanging means hungover. Okay.
Wow.
Well, I think we've spoken enough nonsense for one night. So let's leave it there. I will thank everyone for watching, and I'll thank these crazy people for their time. The tech worked better this time. We're not 100%, but it worked okay. We've had a few flat batteries and a few echoes, but it's all good. So I'm going to hang up with everyone, and we'll speak to you next time.
Hey guys, it's Adrian again. If you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe, and remember to head over to pageantlaunch.com and join the launch team for our pageant review site. All you need to do is put in your email address. Thanks, and speak to you next time.